Hello. Last time I came on here, I was in a deep, dark abyss. And I talked about going all the way down into that deep, dark abyss and not resisting it. Allow yourself to be swallowed up in those moments. If you remember that discomfort is a gift, discomfort, discomfort always has an end, and the end is usually with some kind of clarity, some kind of clear, right next action emerges from any abyss. You can't stay down there forever. Everything changes all the time. And what has changed for me this week is that my book has come out. My I Ching book that I've been working on this year has come out. It's available on Amazon now. It's called Oracle of Emergence and Evolutionary I Ching. And I know that a lot of you, when I post I Ching things on here, don't really know what it is or haven't really worked with it before. And I would like to tell you why you should give a shit. So I think that's probably helpful when any book comes out. There's so much to absorb our attention these days. Why should you care about this book? Well, I've been working with the I Ching for 25 years. And it has been my oldest and most intimate spiritual friend. It's not a book that you read, this book. It's a book that you work with. It's a book that you befriend. It's a book that is deeply intimate. And a lot of previous versions of the I Ching have a very forbidding sort of voice. A lot of metaphor, a lot of Chinese history layered in, a lot of Confucian patriarchy, which was something I was in particular going after, excavating the I Ching from some of that. So this is a decidedly American, decidedly feminine, decidedly of this moment version of the I Ching. Because I think it's time. I think it's time for us all to have access to a little bit of guidance from what we can't see. I mean, we have that always, but to have it in language, in book form, in concrete book form, I think can be really helpful. It has certainly been helpful to me. I consult the I Ching every morning. I ask the basic question of like, what is my correct path for today? And then I throw the coins 6 times, which is very easy. It's all broken down in the book. You can even see that part in the Amazon sample. So if you want to just throw the I Ching and then use the internet and not buy my book, whatever it takes for you to get in relationship with this oracle would make me very, very happy. So I do that question every morning before my meditation. What is my correct path for today? The I Ching, one thing that I love about it, and one reason that I think you should care about it too, is that it has no interest in your preferences whatsoever. It always brings incredible clarity around what the next right action is. If I'm confused, or if my preferences are getting in the way of my life force, if I'm like staunching my flow because I want things to be a certain way, the I Ching does not give a shit about that. The I Ching will show me what I most need to react to sometimes. Like it'll point to exactly where I don't want to know what I already know, which can be pretty painful sometimes. If I already am in touch with my intuition, but it's not aligning with my preferences, the I Ching will cut right through that. And sometimes if I pester the I Ching asking too many times the same thing because I want the truth to align with my preferences, it will start to then feed my preferences. And then I can see, what is it that I really want? How can I get attuned to my true desire, to my deepest knowing? The I Ching will always bring me back there. And first, it will often bring me back to uncertainty, because that's usually where the true desire and the deepest knowing emerge from. So what are those moments when you just can't break through, or you just can't break through your own preferences? You want something so bad, despite all evidence to the contrary. You still want what you want, right? Even if it's not even good for you, even if it's candy for breakfast. The I Ching will guide you, sometimes gently, sometimes very firmly, out of that and bring you back to your home space. The thing I love the most about the I Ching is that it always brings me home. It always brings me home. I could go a wandering, off of my path, off of my center, off of my center point, my axis of life force that's always running through me if I allow it. The I Ching will bring me back there. It will show me what I find uncomfortable. It will show me what I wish for. It'll show me ultimately what the truth is of the situation. So, how you do it is you formulate a question. My morning question is, what is my correct path for today? But sometimes I have a more specific situation. And the more specific the question you ask, the more specific your answer will generally be. The more general your question, the more general your answer. But you can ask the I Ching absolutely anything. But I would caution that the first question you ask yourself before you consult the I Ching is, what are you willing to know? That can be the tough one. What are you willing to know? Sometimes we don't want to know. Sometimes we think we do, and we couldn't be more wrong. That return to uncertainty is a gift. Let me say that for myself again. That return to uncertainty is a gift. That return to uncertainty is a gift. Yeah, I have to remind myself of that a lot. And the I Ching definitely helps me with that. So I've been, as I've been in this like really incredibly dark period for the last 2 months, I've also been finishing this book. And so, I've gotten to really see how intimate the I Ching can be, how intimately I can be guided by it if I am willing. It will be as intimate as I am available for. That's part of its magic. But its magic is vast. It's just a book, and it's also a field of being, which I know might sound a little woo, but it's true. And our interactions with such fields of being have long been mediated by priests and priestesses and shamans, etc., and poets and painters. But this book is an invitation for you to have that intimacy yourself, because that's where the real juice is. I will be probably talking about this book for at least the rest of the week. I'll probably pop on here a few more times. If you have any questions about the I Ching, please ask. Put your question in the comments. It's a 5,000-year-old oracle that originated in China. It was written down as China was switching into a patriarchal society. And so my feeling with the I Ching is that it was probably around a long time before it started being written down, because it didn't need to be written. It was passed along on breath. It was passed along by mouth, by life. It's wildly popular in China, and not as common as, say, like the tarot or other forms of divination in the U.S. And I think that's for me, that's a problem because it's always been my primary form of divination, primary, my primary spiritual friend, my very objective spiritual friend. And so I wanted to bring that to people. I want the I Ching to be more readily available for everyone because it returns you to your own magic. It brings you home. And that can be a hard thing to do in our go, 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 faster, faster side hustle society. It takes courage to come back home sometimes because sometimes home is slow and sometimes home is sad and dark. And sometimes you're walking along the cave wall, not sure if you're going deeper or you're going home. And those two things aren't particularly different, really. Going deeper is going home. You can be swallowed by the whale, and the whale will always spit you back out. It might take a minute, but the whale will always spit you back out. So I will. I'm I'm so excited about this book being out in the world. Like I will put a link to the Amazon page in the comments, and I truly hope you will give it a shot. Even just read the sample and throw the coins and get a hexagram and, you know, look it up for free online. It'll be a different voice from my version, obviously, but get a sense of it and see how it feels. What is your most pressing question? What's the place right now for you where you just are having trouble abiding in uncertainty and not sure what your next step is? That's the kind of question to ask the I Ching. I hope you'll have a look at it. It's been quite a ride to write. I mean, a dandelion can only bloom in so many ways, and there are only so many options we have at any given point in a human life. And the I Ching contains them all. It's like an ecological systems map of everything that is possible in any given moment. Any choice. It's like the original Choose Your Own Adventure book. It's like a 5,000-year-old Choose Your Own Adventure book. So it's not, so you're under no obligation to read anything long. You won't be reading more than like 2 pages at a time. So, you know, if you don't really like to read, you should be fine. I hope you'll check it out. I'll put the link in the comments, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend.